levitating. Robertson Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the motivational supercharger of the 21st century, Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert. I have here with me on the set, Corrin Matthews. Corrin, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Getting into what it is that you do for a living. It is so unique and so special. I have dedicated the last 24 years of my life being an entrepreneur to studying the top 3% of the most successful people in this world, from presidents of the United States all the way to Donald Trump and everybody in between. It's not the money that people create, it's the success habits behind it.
Right.
So from a psychology of achievement standpoint, what do you do, what industry are you in, and how do you help people achieve success?
Well, I'm a hypnotherapist, and for the last 13 years, I've been helping people achieve extraordinary change. That's the name of my business, Extraordinary Change Hypnosis. And I work with all kinds of people. You know, people think that hypnosis is only good for weight loss or for smoking, but the people that I've dealt with really come from all kinds of walks of life. People who have things in their life that, in a sense, are crippling, and when it cripples them, it cripples not only their own lives, but the families, their work, their communities. And when they can change those simple things through hypnosis, which is really just more about internal focus on a very, and you probably know this as another a success coach as well, on a very deep level, that can have a profound effect sometimes on an entire community.
Where'd you get your education or your training to be able to help people the way you do?
Well, I went to HMI, which is the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, and I went all the way up to my master's certification level in hypnotherapy. Oh yeah, and I'm going to keep going. I believe in continuing education. The more I learn, and even when I'm working with people, I continue to learn and develop my techniques a little bit better. And honestly, I have a personal mission. When I work with someone, I'm not going to stop until they've achieved the change they want. You know, people come in and they may or may not be totally committed, and the hypnotist or hypnotherapist or even a psychotherapist, you know, may also, you know, put it on them to be successful. I actually bear the weight. You know, I make sure that I'm listening very carefully. I'm making sure I understand what makes them tick and how they translate things, so that when I speak to them into hypnosis, you know, that it makes so much sense that the mind cannot deny the change.
I have here with me the one and only Jett Black DC. How do you make Jett Black DC's music stand out far and above every other artist that's out there, especially in the DMV area?
Well, what I try to do is I'll take my life like a Bible, like chapters of things I've seen, places I've been, positive influences. It's almost like a Tupac Biggie effect. You know, I'm a ladies man, so I rap to the ladies, you know, peace to the queens all day.
That's right.
But you know, you don't want to make it too hardcore when you're making your music. So I put a twist of go-go, a twist of reggae, whatever it takes.
We lost another legend in the Washington, D.C. area, Little Benny. You have the last recorded session with Little Benny. Tell me about the session. What's the name of the song? And how did Little Benny touch your life?
Well, you know, me and Little Benny did a song last summer, towards the end of the summer, called Give It Up. It's a nice mellow Chuck Brown feel. I mean, Benny groomed me. I filled in for him at the Legends a couple of times with his group, the Legends. I write for Benny, you know, at the time, you know, R.P. Little Benny. He was a mentor on me. Him, James Funk, Chuck Brown. You know, Funk is a personal friend of mine.
That's right, Jazz
so
Funk, big ups to Jazz Funk.
I'm like the golden child.
Yes,
They were the godsons of DC, I'm the golden child. I had a go-go song called Mandingo in the city. Shake your hips to the left and the right. Shout out to Roy Battle for helping me with that.
Wow, ho. Now, if you don't know, for people in Washington, D.C., shake your hips to the left and to the right. Okay, now, I told you we only do big things on the Kevin T. Robertson Show. It's Jett Black that made it possible for you, and he made history in Washington, D.C. Tell me where you go from here, Jett.
Well, right now, I just finished recording a whole album with Poo Poo Man, Gene Anderson from Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, excuse me. By the way, Poo Poo Man Gene Anderson is a what? Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. What are you taking back to the DMV?
I'm bringing the old back to I'm bringing the old. I'm taking people from out of what is it? War. I'm taking people from Atlantic Star. Shout out to Mark Green at the moment. So, you know, we doing the project together. So it's the old, the footsteps in the sand. I suggest to any youth or anybody, keep going. It's not a job. This is a career. Wow. You know, you put yourself in place, you keep your visions, you pray to your creator, and it's going to happen.
I am right here with my man, Thaddeus Nauden. He is a songwriter and he owns a publishing company. Thaddeus, what's going on with you, baby?
What's up, Kevin? Nice to meet you.
Nice to finally get a chance to meet you, man.
Absolutely.
Where do you get your hustle and your focus from to succeed in business and life?
Straight up, honestly, and I'm not just saying this for the cameras, God. My business plan is about this thick, and God's the first part of my business plan, and through that, all good things happen for me, my company. My company, Stage Recordings and Publishing, is 2010 Business of the Year, all 50 states. Wow. So I thank God for that, and that's it. That's where my hustle comes from.
How did you get involved in the music publishing business? Because a lot of artists, they get jerked out of their royalties, and how you protect your royalties is through establishing a publishing company. So could you give a couple of how-to strategies about how you get something like that started?
Absolutely, and that's what I do, man. I like helping out a lot of the young people come up. And so what happens is, man, the main thing about anytime you hear a song on the radio, in a jingle, anything like that, two people get paid. The person who wrote it and the company that publishes it. Like you said, a lot of young people, man, they come up in the business, they sign these deals with EMI, Sony, whoever. They get cheated out of it a little bit. My advice to all the young people, or whoever you are, if you're an artist coming up, start your own publishing company, man. You know what I'm saying? Because then the royalties come through you. You make the call. And then if people like your music, if Sony, EMI, Universal like your music, they're gonna pay you to get your grind on. You know what I mean? That's your smart business.
How do you educate yourself about the very rare information that is oftentimes not shared with the masses?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, once again, I thank God. What happened with me is back in 2002, I was gonna start my company. I got lucky, I met up with Clive Davis. Got the honor to meet Clive Davis, talk to him. And he let me know I wasn't ready. I took 6 years. My company officially became incorporated in 2008. 6 years later, I wrote some more songs. But I learned the business. I sat down with attorneys, free. Hey, tell me about royalties. Tell me about distribution. What do I need to know? Tell me the secrets. The thing is, everybody wants it overnight. It don't happen like that. You know what I mean? I officially got incorporated in 2008. Like I said, 2 years later, I'm Business of the Year. Check it out yourself if you want. Google it. It doesn't happen overnight. Once in a while, if you get found on YouTube, which is very unlikely, you got a better chance of hitting a lottery. It takes time and it takes luck. Nowadays, it takes who do you know? You know what I'm saying? I got lucky.
CEO of Global Entertainment Mick Beats.
Global Entertainment is all about positivity, man. We do what we call hip-hop music, positive conscious hip-hop. We do African music. You seen them do an African piece up there, Pushkin Celebration, with African drums, European strings. We do edutainment. We go in schools, churches, prisons, political rallies. Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, everywhere in Ohio we done blow up. So now we starting to branch out to DC, Chi-Town, Atlanta, DC. All that. We just got back from Africa too. Cool. We're doing big things, man. We introduced Barack Obama to Cleveland, Ohio. We was the first opening act to ever introduce him to Cleveland, Ohio, and 7,000 people.
For those non-believers, for those people that don't understand big things that happen on the Kevin T. Robertson Show,
we're doing positive music, but it's not corny, preachy, outdated, and none of that. It's still relevant, it's still hitting the street, it's still getting to our youth, but we're bridging the gap, all ages, all races.
Right here with Ken Rutkowski. He is from Outer Limits Recording Studio. Tell me a little bit about Outer Limit Recordings. What do you guys do and some of the projects that you've worked on in the past?
When people come through Buffalo, they look me up. Eminem was in, Raheem Devon I had in, Eminem and D12 were in for 4 days straight while they were in starting a tour in Buffalo. So it was a great day. Exactly. Donnell Jones came through. You know, I've worked with some pretty big people like that. I have a pretty big recording studio. It's one of the best in town, maybe the best, depending on who you talk to. Tons of hip-hop, R&B, gospel kind of stuff. I also deal, of course, with rock and blues and jazz and stuff like that. Full bands, single artists, whatever they are. I do tons of production. If people need hip-hop, real deep, sexy R&B beats, club beats, whatever. All kinds of stuff like that. I keep everybody happy. And then, there's the graphics end, the duplication end, so one-stop shop.
Now, Ken, it takes a lot of skill and development of your talent to get as good as you are at all of those specific things, so we have value to offer to your clients. What would you attribute your success to over the years, and how much focus have you had in your career to achieve that type of success?
It takes a ton of focus, as you would imagine. I've been playing music since I was not even 3 years old, so I've been adding on instruments as I went around. I play 6 or 7 proficiently, and I dabble in a few others. I've gone to school for it. I've got a 4-year degree from Fredonia College, very, very nice music college. And the best thing about Fredonia is they stress music first, not the technical end, because the technical end, sure, it's difficult to learn what all the buttons and knobs do.
Yeah, but the technical end, like the engineering, which is a very, very tricky part.
It is, but you can't do any of that without knowing the music first. That is absolutely most important.
Ken is from Outer Limit Recording Studios, ladies and gentlemen. They have the graphics, they have the music production, they have the engineering, the mix down, mastering. They take you from A to Z with your project. Nobody else does it better in the Buffalo area. I keep telling you, we only do big things on the Kevin T. Robertson Show, where we're bringing the world into focus.